Hail and welcome to Heathen Hearth, the show where we make recipes inspired by the historic and ethnographic imagination. This week we're making, well, we're not really making a hail and horn gathering recipe, we're making a faux hail and horn gathering recipe because I have vegan friends coming over and I want to make a very heathen dish, which is fish in the grave with fox piss sauce, but they're vegans, so I have to swap out everything. So get ready for vegan fish in the grave and vegan fox piss sauce. Unfortunately, I lost a bit of footage when I was filming this episode, so you're going to have to get used to this really intrusive Ken Burns carrot coming at your face right now. So what you need to do is procure yourself some carrots. What you want them to be is orange carrots and ones that are large. There's lots of different colors of carrots, but you want something that is in the tone that you will see with salmon or rainbow trout or something. So something orange or pinkish. Now, the carrot should be quite large and it should have the skin on it still. And it doesn't matter if they're a bit old and tired, wizened, because we're going to be trying to take the moisture out of them anyways. So older carrots are fine for this. You don't need super fresh carrots. If you can't find any carrots at the grocery store and you live near an ocean, you can collect them from the wild. They sometimes wash up on the beach when there are large waves, and they collect in tide pools. You'll probably not want to collect the ones that just lie on the beach, but the ones that are in the tide pools are extremely fresh. So just go looking for those and put them in a bucket with some, no, I'm just joking. Carrots are obviously a vegetable crop that grow on land. They originally were domesticated from a wild carrot in what is now Afghanistan, and made its way to Europe during I can't remember what time period. It might have been Roman, but in any case, during the Viking Age, carrots weren't orange. That was a later effect, but you need orange carrots in order to make this dish look like salmon. So it's just an imaginative dish. We don't have to be historically authentic or accurate with this, and we're trying to turn carrots into seafood anyways. So here we go. The first thing you're going to need to do is make sure your carrots are very clean, but leave the skin on them. You can take the tails off the carrots as well as the greenery, and any parts of the carrot that was above ground and got sunlight and has turned green, cut that away as well. Now, you have the carrots. Don't bother drying them off. This works better if it's a little bit moist. You'll take the nori sheets and wrap them around the carrots so that each carrot is wrapped in a couple of layers of nori. Then you take your baking pan and line the bottom of it with a small layer of coarse salt. You then place the wrapped carrots into that pan, leaving about the same amount of distance between carrots as the size of the carrots you have. Then you cover the entire thing in coarse salt again and pack it down. Now, this is a bit like salt curing that you might do with egg yolks or that type of thing. It's also a bit like dry brining that happens when you put a lot of salt on a meat product. This allows, when it's meat products, it takes out some of the moisture and allows for a different texture to happen and for the cooking process to act a bit differently. In our case, it's going to be a bit more like salt curing egg yolks. So what we're going to do is we're going to be taking the moisture out of the carrot and it's going to be drawn through the nori, and that way it'll have the flavor molecules from the sheet of nori will permeate the carrot. It would also change the texture of the carrot quite a lot. And so, but we're going to be doing this under heat, so it's also going to caramelize the carrot. So it's a bit like the carrot is being steamed, dried, and caramelized all at the same time in this process. Preheat the oven to 375 degrees and then bake the pan of carrots uncovered for about an hour and a half. Oh, they still smell great. think my desktop's going to get a little bit messy here. That's why I have the paper towels. Peel this off. Now most recipes that I saw online for this had the carrots being peeled, so I'll see if I can peel the carrots, otherwise I might just leave them. I'm not sure yet. Depends how hard it is to do. Wow, they shrunk down a lot, so that should have concentrated their flavor. And the texture is totally different now too. Hopefully with the texture of fish. Something that carrots lack is a lot of glutamates. And meat, and especially cured meat, develops glutamates. And but there are foods that have them, such as seaweed and mushrooms, and it gives it's one of the sources of an umami flavor. It's actually also too one of the reasons that MSG, monosodium glutamate, was produced to get that type of flavor into foods. And but the different ones that we're trying to get here are natural ones from the seaweed, and imbue them into the carrot, and that should give the carrot a different flavor. And so that'll be the carrot sweetness. One of the things about salmon is it has a certain sweetness to it. The carrots have a sweetness, but what we're hoping for with this seaweed is to give that sort of sea-like taste of fish, but also that glutamate content that provides the hard to describe umami flavor of cured fish. See if I can get most of the salt off here. See if this, if we can show you what this looks like. Oops. If I stand behind the camera, maybe, there we go. All right, let me try a bit without. Oh, that's really good. It has quite a salty taste with the salt on the outside. Maybe what I'll do, I might rinse them really quickly, I think, and then dry them off again. And that's what I think I'll do, because the peeling is just too difficult. There we go. So I'm going to cut these carrots on the bias, and maybe use my fingers a little to shred them to get a bit of a different texture. And then I'm going to marinate them to get a bit of the fat into them, which they do not have. And of course, salmon is a very fatty fish. So let's see how this works. If I do it like this. Oh, that's a good color. Oh, it really makes the color, does definitely make the color more orange. I don't want to cut it too thin or else it'll fall apart. I have a feeling that once I marinate it, I'll be able to press it onto the bread and it'll look good like that. Think about it, the carrots might have shrunk down by maybe a third. There, about half the carrots in. And since I want to use herbs, what I'll do is I think put these aside for a minute, and so I don't have to, they're kind of delicate. To make sure that it tastes like the other dish, I will add some dill. Now I'm not going to be marinating this for very long because I have guests coming soon. Like I said before, I sort of mistimed all of this stuff, so I should have done this 2 days in advance, but we'll have to make do with a day in advance. So I'm gonna bash it, get some of the essential oils coming out before I chop it. Of course, the dog thinks the doorbell's being done, so we get a bit of the lucky dog barks. Alright, so we got half of the dill on it now. Get the rest in. Get the rest of the dill on. Now I definitely don't need to add any salt to this. So the next thing is an oil component. I don't have any completely neutral oil, but I do have this delicious Spanish olive oil, so I'll just use a bit of that. And I have a tiny bit of mirin. Which is a Japanese wine. There we go. So I did try that carrot, and it had these remembrances of salmon, but of course it doesn't actually taste like salmon. It tastes like a delicious sort of umami carrot. But it does have that sense of the sea and the ocean, and it will be a very delicious dish, and it should have a little bit of an appearance of salmon. There we go. That looks quite delicious. Okay, I'm going to leave it at room temperature so that it marinates more quickly. I put a lid on it. Bit of cling wrap here. This is so pet hair doesn't get into it mainly. There we go. Put that aside. So this sauce is just it's just a sweet sauce with dill and mustard, and I can't remember where I actually read that it was called fox piss sauce, but I was trying to look it up. I might have actually gotten that wrong. I have no idea, but it's a fun name nonetheless. And I'm going to add a tiny bit of vinegar to give it that sour taste that I like. So that it has that sweet and sour and savory flavor. Now, I'm making it tonight beforehand because the flavors need to marry overnight. So that'll taste better. Now I'm doing 2 different versions, one vegan and one not vegan. So one will have honey, but one will not. I'm also going to use a more Northern European style vinegar in one, the apple cider vinegar, and the white wine vinegar in another. So of course you have 2 different flavors as well. Okay, now I guess myself a grind of salt in each of those. This is Keen's dried mustard. I really like the flavor of this stuff. Got 2, I don't know, 2 teaspoons or so. These are the Indian style red mustard. I call it rye. I like the seeds because they're smaller. Also has a different flavor. And I guess let's do the big one as the
more ancient sort of style. Just a tiny splash of vinegar. And white wine vinegar in the other. Okay, and this one's the vegan one, so it'll have sugar. And this is not the vegan one, so it'll have honey. Maybe a bit more sugar. Typically this sauce is made with oil, so it's essentially a salad dressing, but I'm going to make mine with water to make it lighter. I might add some oil to it anyways. This one, the honey one though, I think I'm not going to add any oil to. The other one I'll add honey oil. Since I'm using Southern European ingredients anyways, I might as well use this nice Spanish olive oil, so use olive oil as well. And a bit more honey. Well, that's the color's not dark enough. I'll get some more mustard in there. So the olive oil one, I'll stir tomorrow, but I'll keep it like this with the olive oil floating on top. That way it'll preserve it. And both of these will get cling film on the top and go in the fridge. So I gotta remember, the vegan one is the smaller container, the smaller boat. Although I'm making this vegan, I think the people who are coming are vegetarian, so I don't think they're going to care. All right, there we go. All right, so since we're here at for our brunch, this is our Remembrance Day brunch. We have obviously for Hail and Horn and the Heathen Hearth channel. We're doing some stuff, but I'd like everybody to raise their glass, and because this weekend we honor the departed. We have friends and family who were in wars, and they've done a lot for us. So hail to all of them.
Hail!
And the story
It's
again.
so nice though.
Yeah, that's good.
It's really well done.
We lost to a koi fish.
I can't believe you lost to a koi fish.
A
That
koi
is
fish that was this big.
absolute
Really?
bullshit.
Yeah, no, and there were some beautiful, wonderful pieces, but
For whatever
because
reason,
it's
that was the
political,
thing.
it's a political thing.
Oh, okay. Just going
I'm gonna dip it in some fox piss first.
All right.
That's one of those.
Oh, that's good. It doesn't taste at all like carrot.
No, you think it's a bit of the flavor?
No, completely. You can taste the seaweed.
Okay.
It has
good.
a bit of a fish taste to it.
Yeah.
I haven't had actual fish in many years, but
Yeah.
I feel like this is what a fish probably tastes like.
This is probably what most vegetarians say when they try these products. How about the texture?
It's nothing like a carrot at all.
Yeah.
No, you're definitely, I'm going to say it's more like a salmon, but
Okay.
again, it has been unfair.
Just imagine this carrot's been swimming in the ocean. Happy and free range.
Free range
Free range carrots.
No dolphins were harmed.
Oh yeah,
In the
no
making of
dolphins
this
were
carrot.
harmed
No
at all.
dolphins were harmed in the harvesting of these carrots.
Try to.
What's the spicy on it?
It has dill. And there's
really
a
good.
mustard in the sauce.
That's the mustard I can taste. Oh, it's excellent. Very, very good.
Okay.
Why no one give Axel salmon? Axel just a little dog. salmon. Dog loves salmon. I sit here. Human, give me salmon. Salmon so good.